What's up everybody, welcome to Money Management channel. My name is Andrei and today I'm gonna be doing an update on MMTLP and Fina Saga.
I got the cash in the bag, stadium packed. Born a rock star in this life, gonna live it up.
And for today's video, guys, I have several quite interesting news. First of all, I will show you a due diligence of Daniel, of your favorite SGM, the person who filed a lawsuit, and this lawsuit is still active. And he is trying to find out some additional information in regards to the volume, tradable volume that was made back in 2022 for the MMTLP stock. On top of that, guys, I will show you an update from Scott Roth, and yes, you might not like him, but he still has his lawsuit active in the Vermont District Court, if I remembered correct. On top of that, guys, I will show you quite interesting update in regards to the shares that was distributed to the C-levels executive, and that potentially might be quite interesting discovery in regards to one of the board of directors members. So, and before we dive deep into all of this, guys, please hit the like button for YouTube algorithm and drop me a line in the comment section if you think my videos are valuable for you. So, and let's start with this tweet that was written by Daniel. 16 hours ago he wrote, would you look at that? It's probably nothing. This needs more work and a better data set, but not bad for a first attempt, MMTLP. Also, an apples-to-apples comparison is warranted. Anyone have any ideas for similar stocks to analyze? And he added this screenshot. Here's the volume, MMTLP weekly trading volume with the test nominal and post-deletion trading highlighted. And guys, I have to admit that I'm familiar with the volume, with the trading volume for the ordinary stocks and on the New York Stock Exchange or Nasdaq, but this data is quite unique because it consists post-deletion trading data. And let me show you that he also added several more tweets. 11, let's start with this one. 12 hours ago he wrote this. Attempt number 2, daily Z-test 7.70, integrated OTC market maker weekly data with Yahoo daily volumes. Highlighted key days, X94 at average, marked 295 trading days, added mean volume range, showed post-halt activity and a summary. Thoughts? And guys, if you are familiar with this type of volume distribution, please contact Daniel and help him to identify the critical points where we can clearly say that it was an extremely high or extremely low volume compared to the previous volume. And guys, I will also take a sneak peek on this data, and I will contact Daniel and probably I will do another update in regards to this news. So, and let's continue with the Scott Roth's tweet. 10 hours ago he wrote this. He basically published the screenshot of the former MMTLP website, of not MMTLP but the Torchlight Energy website. And he added this: the worst lies are the ones we tell ourselves. The second worst lies are the lies they tell investors. And here is the screenshot of the Torchlight Energy Resources website. And here you can see that on their official website it was the clear statement of the oil inside the Orogrande Basin, and we can clearly see 3.7 billion barrels. And guys, take a look right here. Paul T, in response to this tweet, wrote this: I do support your lawsuit in getting an MMTLP resolution. However, I do not support you're going after NBH or claiming they have lied about the oil and gas assets. However, as an American, you have every right to proceed in the manner you wish. And guys, I have to admit that I agree with this statement, and I don't agree with some statements of Scott Roth. But why in the world he shouldn't disclose, and he shouldn't point out to this information that NBH basically lied to their existing shareholders. And Scott responded to this. Paul, you were silent when I asked McCabe a few questions, and his fruitcase all went bananas from the sheer audacity of asking that Texas blowhard some business questions. And who the shorts were that tried to buy after the halt. It's my right as an American to identify you as a fan's straddling wimp. Again, guys, Scott has quite unique conversation manner, let's put it this way, and I don't like it, but nevertheless, he can do anything that he wants, and basically the only problem with Scott is that he's a bit rude in his conversation with other MMTLP community members. On top of that, guys, I want to pay attention to another tweet that was written by Scott, and I covered this news again 3 months ago, and he basically reminded me about this. 3 months ago, Burn the Shorts told me that the US Marshals, with his guidance, has been investigating MMTLP. He reiterated that today. If you give this guy a laxative, he turns translucent. The US Marshals do not investigate securities fraud. To be fair, neither does the SEC, really, it seems, but I digress. So this is what MMTLP shareholders have to deal with. On one of his last disgrace calls, I was told this guy told the tale, so who are the agents doing this? Out of what field office at least? Shocked, I say, shocked I am to find out yet another chillbilly has been deflated like one of the inflator friends sold by the misunderstood folks watching the video content created as a side hustle by one of the MMTLP whale investors' side hustles. But I digress again. Now your moment of zen, thoughtfully provided by Scott Trott, Zen Bastard. So guys, I have to admit that previously, before the majority of lawsuits were filed, Scott wrote in his Twitter account that 2 US Marshals are investigating and were investigating the MMTLP case. But since then, I couldn't find any information about this, and for now, guys, I think it is quite decent update in regards to the alternative path for at least some kind of investigation. So, let me show you further. Busy Brands, an opponent of Scott Trott, wrote this. And basically he added the screenshot of Jeff Davis, the Energy OG conversation. And he wrote, is Jeff Davis one of the persons contacting University Lands? Posted below is a little nervous conversation he engaged with me back on the morning of July 22nd, when I hinted on Savi's space that there were people sabotaging the UL contract with Next Bridge. Not accusing Mr. Davis of sabotaging, but why was he contacting University Lands for? He is a part of the conversation I had with Mr. Davis back in July. His own words. And here you can see that Jeff Davis wrote, do you honestly think I can break a contract? I reached out to them 4 and 5 years ago. How did that work? Have been in touch since. And Busy Brands responded, or I know you have. And Jeff also added this. I appreciate the idea, I have that much power. So guys, to be honest, I don't think that it is any type of evidence at all. But we have to dig deeper in order to identify the wrongdoers themselves and the actions that was made by them. And this type of tiny evidence might lead us to much bigger conclusions. That is why, guys, despite the fact that I don't think that it might lead us to some kind of scheme that Jeff Daniels was involved in the sabotaging of UL and Next Bridge Hydrocarbons contract, but definitely this type of investigations might disclose some additional information that might definitely help us. So, and let's take a look at another news. John Bruder reposted this tweet that was written by Polish assassin 19 hours ago. And it says, very good chance all this massive wash selling. Yes, they are illegal, right? Hester Pierce. Hand off events are the cabal moving shares offshore to hide them. Recall what FINRA told John Burda in the MMTLP fiasco. And here is the screenshot that was made. I cannot remember when John Burda told this, but as you can see, this tweet was reposted by John Burda himself, and this means John pretty much confirmed his statement. So he said, "They called me back a couple days later and said FINRA told us that 2 million shares that were short moved offshore, and therefore they are out of the US purview, so they don't count them as a short anymore." I said, well, that's the most insane thing I've ever heard in my life. Why would they not treat them as a short position when they know full well what happened to them? And she couldn't explain it to me because she was the one saying that every single share is always accounted for. Well, this is hardcore evidence that is absolutely not the truth. John Burda. So guys, we know that the wrongdoers are trying to hide their short positions from FINRA and SEC by transferring short positions abroad. That is how they can hide this information, and that is how they can basically trick all the retail investors who might invest in this certain company. And that is why, guys, I think it is a pure violation of SEC rules. On top of that, John Burda reposted this tweet that was written by Murdoch the Meta guy. And Murdoch the Meta guy wrote this on January the 1st. Anyone with half a brain can understand how FINRA violated not once, but twice their own rules. Landon is also correct when saying the S1 was amended 4 times to the satisfaction of the SEC, who eventually filed a notice of effectiveness, and then it was silence from FINRA for 2 whole weeks. You can play stupid and defend your position all you like, but facts are facts. And he added several screenshots, and guys, I have to admit that we have so many discrepancies in the official SEC and FINRA statements. We have so many evidence that they lied. They lied to retail investors in general and to MMTLP shareholders in particular. And guys, one of the lies that they made back in 2023, at the very beginning of 2023, was the deletion of MMTLP symbol because they had to delete it somewhere at the end, in the middle of December of 2022. But at the same time, on the FINRA's official website, it was an information that the MMTLP ticker symbol was halted for at least a couple of months. And then they said that it was some kind of coding error, that they didn't renew, they didn't refresh the website, and they didn't update this information. So it is another evidence that they lied to us, and we have multiple evidence of this type of actions. So, and for now, guys, let's take a look at another quite interesting due diligence that pretty much exposes some of well, let's say John Burda's actions back in days. And here you can see that Roman Supes wrote this tweet: MMAT, exciting disclosures at MMAT BK filings. And here you can see this document, and you know that John Burda is an MMAT shareholder, but here you can see that he filed a document for the bankruptcy of MMAT, and he added the documents how he acquired MMAT shares. And this is the interesting where interesting part begins. So Roman Supes wrote this: stock options with cashless exercise for John Burda back in July 15th of 2020. Incentives for him to get a letter of intent to have somebody take over and build capital in a plan the SEC calls scheme. Yet Roger Wurtel, who signed, pretends like he doesn't know anything. LOL. He also added this: option agreement says if we find you engage in fraud, your options are cancelled. No fighting, even with settling SEC charges. Again, he added this: also MMAT got 553,000 warrants with cashless exercise provision. All these warrants he was using to pay Torchlight pumpers according to the SEC charges. 1209 folks, add this one in. Burda hired specifically with intention to dispose of oil and gas assets. I suggest scan for Appendix A from the receiver for a full list of duties. Most likely this will establish Burda as a control person. Again, he added this. Some more interesting filings alleged to be a John Doe from two different federal securities lawsuits. Will Stewart, dockets 1095, 1094, 1090, 1089, and so on and so forth. And by the way, guys, he added all the screenshots of the documents that proves his investigation. He also added this. Will Stewart also files on behalf of BBV Profit Sharing Plan, Cheyenne Funding Incorporated, Dark Rum Ventures, Highstock Solutions, Thurman Investments, Hilltop Finding dockets 1084, 1097. Some MMTLP holdings are shown. Kenneth Doolin, on and off investors of TRCH through the years, has some MMAT left over, docket 1109. Will Stewart claims to have over 11.6 million invested in MMAT. Some MMTLP holdings are shown. We'll total them up. One account shows 4.8 million NextBridge shares. Cost basis shows nothing. And guys, I have to admit that this investigation is quite interesting because it shed some lights on the distribution of MMAT shares among the people who potentially might be involved in the decision-making process for MMAT and MMTLP. So, he also added this. Claims to have 14 accounts with 2.611 thousand shares of MMAT. This must be pre-split. Stewart family shows 11.4 million MMTLP shares for $12.3 million. A few accounts show no cost basis in red. Here you can see the value of their position. California Department of Business Oversight Design and Refrain Order. Stipulation, California Department of Business Oversight stipulation. And guys, I have to admit that it is another quite interesting information, but to be honest, this information might be useful only in the court. And if we found out this information, if Roman Soups want to dig deeper inside this, he has to contact for example, any of our litigators, and we have 10 lawsuits that are active right now with this information, and potentially this might also help us to see some kind of resolution. So guys, and I have to admit that we have plenty of new information that are coming to my hands, and that is why I will continue to help you to see the resolution.
And guys, let me tell you my personal story. I have a wife and two children aged 11 and 15, as well as a small dog. After 30 years of living in Russia near the Baikal Lake, we decided to move. Now we reside in Serbia. Although I don't own any MMTLP shares, I invest a lot of time creating daily MMTLP videos. I have been doing this every day without days off and holidays for more than 1.5 years. Now I wish to buy back this time from my family, from my children. We've agreed that I will ask the MMTLP community to support me, and I will give all the money to the children. Therefore, if you believe that I am providing useful content for you and wish to support me, you can join my Patreon account. For $5 a month, I will add your name to my list of supporters if you wish. Thank you in advance. The link you can find in the description below. So, I think that's all information that I want to provide you. If you like my video, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel, and see you guys and girls next time. Bye!
I got the cash in the bag, stadium